Alright, today we're going to be doing Dark Summoner's Road, and the video is going to be sped up. I'm trying something different. But for stage 1, you're just going to want a luck team. This one is going to be a little harder than other stage 1s because you're supposed to break the boss, but you also have to break the next two bosses, so I wouldn't waste a breaker on the first stage. You can just nuke through it. You should be able to do enough damage. You just need a couple True Arts. Alright, and then straight into stage 2. You're gonna need a breaker. This one you only need to break one time. Once you break it, then you can do damage. I think you can do damage even without breaking it, but it's just a lot faster to break nuke it. So I'm using Est because of his passive or her passive, and then all these equips you use your Mabel Apocalypses first, and then they'll double your break power. And then you use the break equips; it'll break really quick. And then Luvia and Rin are here for the nuke. True Art the first half, Super Art the second half. You can do this with a bunch of different units. You just have to break it first. You could use like Duke, Est, any breaker. Pretty simple. And then stage 3, you need to break this one too. But this one is different in the way that you can only damage it while it's broken. So you might have to break it multiple times if you can't nuke it during the one break. And that might take a long time. And these ads have paralyzed for some reason. So just make sure you have some unit, like Summer Miyu has paralyzed res built in. So just make sure you're able to clear through them. The final fight is pretty easy. You just gotta make sure. I'd recommend a tank, so you can tank the his final threshold, because it's gonna be a nuke. So right here, just keep trying to break him. He does take extra damage if he's in a status ailment too. So if you like freeze him and nuke him, like a freeze break nuke, that'll do a lot of damage. But Summer Miyu just deals enough damage with just a break. So right here, you're just gonna use all the super arts, nuke it, and then we're just gonna wait with our shield and our defense equips. We're gonna wait for him to come back down because he's gonna fly all the way up, and then you're gonna like come down like a meteor. So just make sure your equips are up for when he actually hits. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for the third fight. And then the fourth one, this one's gonna take a little bit longer. This one you're also supposed to break, but you don't have to. It takes a long time to break it, and it takes a long time if you don't break it. So either way, it's gonna take a little bit. But I'm just using this team right here because they're gonna do a lot of damage. And they're gonna have a lot of arch gen. And then Rimuru is here for status cleanse, just because the boss actually blinds you, and then it's really hard to actually hit them, even with Shadow's evasion down. So you gotta cleanse the blind on your DPS. So I just brought Rimuru to cleanse the blind on everybody, so everybody can do damage. But if you have a unit with blind resistance, that'll work too. This boss does have shield killer, so you're gonna need to bring like Albedo or Demiurge or Shiro, depending on which one you have and what team comps you're gonna use with them. So you have to be careful of that. And then yeah, he's gonna blind you a bunch, so you just need to make sure you keep your damage dealer unblinded or you won't be able to do damage. And then if you want to break it, it'll, depending on which breaker you have and what team comp you're using, breaking it is probably faster. But I think MDD is the fastest for this fight. But I don't have DK Vox, so it's kind of hard for me to do MDD. Yeah, I think the only thing you can't use on this fight is a shield unit, a taunt tank, and then you're just gonna need to make sure you stay out of blind, and that's pretty much it for this fight. And you should be able to beat it, especially if you bring a tank. You can just heal through the damage, and it will be fine, but you're gonna need a good healer. All right, that's stage 4 done, and now on to the final stage of Dark Summoner's Road. This one, you're. I think you can do it without Shiro, without like a tank unit. You're just gonna need to heal a lot more. But I have Albedo and Shiro, so if you have both of them, this is where you would use both of them. You would use Albedo on the other one and Shiro on this one. And then these bloody bats right here suck. If you don't kill them fast enough, they will split your arts gauge in half, and it's really annoying. And you can only damage one of them at a time. So your debuffs are only going to afflict one at a time, I think. Maybe not, but still, you can only damage one at a time. And then don't bring light units on this fight because the first boss has light killer. And then don't bring a dark damage dealer because the final boss has dark resistance. And then don't bring a taunt tank because the final boss has shield killer. So your team's probably going to want to be a non-taunt tank, 2 archgeners, and a really good DPS. For the first boss, I think you're supposed to yeah, inflict it with a status ailment, but Uzu does so much damage that I don't even need to. But if you have a unit that hits really hard and inflicts a status ailment, like I'm trying to think of a physical unit. Maybe Diablo. He inflicts blind. He might hit kind of hard, but then again, the final boss has dark res, so maybe not. Maybe like Rin and Luvia. They can burn and then can do a bunch of magic damage. All right, but then the last fight right here, Cavern Giavel. Pretty much just beat his ass. I don't know. He doesn't do that much until the final threshold. He is gonna like freeze you. He's gonna feint everybody and then he's gonna freeze everybody. So that's where Shiro comes in handy because Shiro has freeze res. And then I put Holy Knight of Fenrir on him, which is a cleanse. So he can cleanse all the rest of my units. But yeah, this fight isn't too hard. Dark Summoner's Road is one of the easier ones. I'd say the difficulty is probably Earth, Fire, Dark, Water, Light. And then the Rainbow one, I'd probably put that one at the end or right in front of Light Summoner's Road just because you need a bunch of different types of units. So like if you only have fire or light units, you're not going to be able to beat that. But yeah, there. That is it for Dark Summoner's Road. And then I think the next Summoner's Road video is going to be the Rainbow Summoner's Road. So make sure you watch that. And then all the other ones are already on my channel. But yeah. Uzu hitting for 60 mil. Some slight. That's it. See ya.